everyone. Happy Vlogtober, day 18. It is after 8 p.m., almost 9 p.m., and this is the first time I am saying hello to you today. Just been a very chill at home, getting stuff done day kind of day. Sunday, I'm sitting in bed right now, just having a late night, last little bit glass of my current favorite red wine, getting ready for bed. This is right here. Browsing at my latest acquired book from eBay. There's a story behind this I will share with you. So the story behind this book is this was a very favorite book of mine back when I was, I guess, a preteen or so. I can't remember exactly when I first acquired this book, but I was relatively young. I had an old softcover 1960s version of this book, and it's an original 1963 copyright. Beverly Cleary was one of my favorite children's authors. I love Henry and Ribsy. I love Beezus and Ramona, Ramona and her mother. I read a lot of those books, but I did not read all of them. But I love her as an author. Anyway, this was a favorite book of mine called Sister of the Bride. Funny that I am Sister of the Bride right now. Although this story is nothing like my sister and I, because this is the point of view of a younger sister whose older sister is getting married. So in this case, I am the older sister. But anyway, I loved this book so much. There were so many funny aspects about it, and I can't remember if I had read it on my own first, but the part about this book that sticks in my mind the most, that makes it most important to me, is I read it aloud, taking turns with my grandmother. She would read some and I would read some. And I also remember doing like crocheting at the time too, and I believe my mother was expecting, maybe it wasn't my sister at the time, so this kind of will figure out about how old I was. It was one of my brothers. I cannot remember for sure which one it was. It could have been the very first one, my oldest brother, or it could have been, since I am the oldest in the family, it could have been any of them actually, because it was one of the very first things I remember crocheting. So it might have been my oldest sibling, because I remember the thing I was crocheting, which I didn't finish because I ran out of yarn, and I could not get an exact match to it. But I remember us being away, being in a hotel, and I was crocheting and we were reading the book, and there were certain sections of it that just tickled us so much, and we would laugh about it. We got such a kick out of it. Now, in rereading this, which I have in recent years a few times, my little softcover book of it, they weren't as the things we laughed at weren't as hilarious as I remember. But that's kind of the way things go. It's like, it's the moment and the ideas that you're thinking in your head when you have those thoughts of something that tickles you and just makes things strikes you. It's so funny. And they're not necessarily funny on their own. It's just the way you're both thinking about it and you're talking about it, that made us just laugh so much. But no matter what it was, that was one of the things that totally endeared this book to me so much. And I just always loved it. And I still love it, and I'm going to reread it now. But I was always on the lookout for a first edition of it, or at least a second edition of it, because they were both basically the same. And it is the only editions that were done that actually have some drawings inside. All the softcover versions and it's still printed to this day. There have been so many modernized versions of these girls and their wardrobe to go with the times, because the story itself is timeless, but their outfits have been updated to suit whatever time the version comes out. So this is the original 63 I found on eBay. I've had it on my list, not watch list, but when you're looking, my search list, you save your search term. And I've had Sister of the Bride, Beverly Cleary, first edition, for a while on my list. The only other copy I ever saw was maybe $100 somewhere. And I don't know if it had a paper cover or what it had. I don't even care. I just wanted it to at least have those illustrations inside, so I could have, you know, just little bits. And it's mostly just an illustration at the first page of each chapter. But like I said, all the subsequential books had nothing. So I really just wanted that extra little bit. So I found this is not the greatest edition. It's an ex-library copy. I do love ex-library copies. There's just something very special about them. It has wear and tear. I do not mind. I really don't care. Exactly the condition that I don't mind. It's in one piece. It's not falling apart. And I still have my old one, which has lost its cover. I think I have the cover somewhere, but it has, you know, it's fallen apart. It was a little soft cover, but this is the little 1963 hardcover, and I'm very happy to have this. I think I got it, it was $14.99 free, but great shipping. So compared to, you know, whatever high dollar amount, because I don't see them. They don't come up often. This is the first one in a number of years that has come up. So anyway, I'm very happy to have that, and that is my find for tonight. I hope you guys have been doing good, have had a good evening, a good Sunday. Tomorrow is a regular full day work day for me, so you won't be hearing a ton from me. And I know my dearest young boy is going to be making dinner tomorrow night, my favorite tacos, so that is a huge plus for me. Very happy to have that when I come home from a work day. And so yeah, if you've not read this, it's a fun, sweet read. Beverly Cleary, I totally endorse her, and not endorse her, that's totally the wrong word. I totally recommend her for any age as being a wonderful juvenile, just pleasurable, nice, calm, wonderful, pleasant read. Any of those books, Henry and Ribsy, all the Ramona books, Sister of the Bride, and I know there's probably more that I haven't read. But if you haven't read her, she's good for any age. I believe she even did some later books, if I'm not sure. More adult books. I'm not 100% positive on that. I might be mixing her up with Judy Blume, who I know did do books for adults, who also is another one of my favorites, who did Tales of the Fourth Grade Nothing and Super Fudge. And there's a bunch more. So anyway, I will say goodnight for now, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.